And welcome back. It's time once again for our Ozarks Live Book Club. And Janine Birkenfield is here from the Springfield Greene County Library. Good to see you, Janine. How are things?
Just great. So glad to be here, Blake, talking about books.
Yes, we are excited. And I want to point out something really quick. So these are not obviously our traditional paperbacks that are brought in. So explain to people what this is right here on the table.
So I brought some old school audiobooks. The library still carries lots of CD audiobooks for your reading pleasure if you're an audiobook lover. And these are all the books I'm going to talk about today. You can get these from the library. You can also listen to audiobooks on one of our digital platforms, Libby or Hoopla.
Perfect. All right. So the first one is Maame. Am I saying that right?
Maame.
Okay. All right. Tell me about this one.
So this was one of my favorite audiobooks from this past year. It was actually a Jenna's Book Club pick. So it was a notable audiobook, one of my favorites. It features 20-something black Ghanaian woman living in London. She kind of is in a rut in her life. She still lives in her childhood home with her father, who has advanced Parkinson's. So she works a full-time job she hates, and she part-time caretakes for him, and she's just in a rut. She's ready to kind of spread her wings and fly. And when her mother, who actually lives full-time in Ghana and only comes home occasionally, decides to come home for a year to caretake the husband, Maddie, whose nickname is Maame, decides to get an apartment and
go off and do her own thing.
That's right. She gets a new job and starts online dating. And
does she fall in love?
Well, she has troubles.
Okay.
And but she's a really well-drawn character, a lovable character, and the book will make you laugh and cry and just fall in love with her.
Yeah. Without giving anything away, if there's something that the reader is going to take away after reading this, what do you think that would be?
I think that this book, really, Jessica George, she really does a good description and illustration of what it's like to be a Gen Zer in today's world, and the struggles that young people have in finding love and connection and navigating friendships and just growing up.
Yeah, it sounds like a good, important read.
It's
now,
wonderful.
the next one you brought in is called romantic comedy. So tell us about this one.
So, romantic comedy is just that. It's a romance, but it's very funny, and I would call it a literary romance. It features Sally, who's the 30-something kind of brainiac comedy sketch writer. She works for a fictional late-night comedy show, kind of loosely based off SNL. And she has sworn off love. She's had several heartbreaks, and she's done with love until one of the special guests on her TV show happens to be this uber popular pop star, Noah. He's very traditionally handsome, and so Sally and Noah begin writing his skits together, and there's an instant connection, and it's very sweet. It's a very untraditional.
It sounds like easy too. Like you're not going to get caught up in your feels. It's going to be one that you can read or listen
sweet.
to.
Yeah.
It's a romance, but it's very cerebral
and kind of relatable in a way. I think there's a lot of people that swear off love, and then it kind of comes when they least expect it. So I think this is a great read.
It's very sweet. It's more based on that emotional and intellectual connection and it's a slow burn romance, and it was just a really fresh take on the genre.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Okay, we are almost out of time, but briefly tell us about Wellness.
Wellness. This is a huge read, a 19-hour audiobook that took me about 4 days to get through. I was so engrossed. But it's basically about a middle-aged couple. They were once the cool kids in their youth. They're now married, living in suburbia with a child. Their marriage is unraveling, and they have to take a hard look at their past and the dysfunctional families they grew up in and figure out how to make it work.
That's also very relatable, something a lot of people out there are dealing with and consistently. You know, it's an ever-growing, ever-changing thing that we're all working through. So if people want more information about any of the books that we talked about or everything with the library, how can they get that?
Please visit us at our website, thelibrary.org. You can, we have lots of book discussions that we'd love to have you check out. You can find those at our website under the Programs tab. And just come into any one of our city branches or county branches and talk books with us. We love nothing more.
Janine, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it, and we love all these books. So